ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Next Goal Wins. It's a Tottenham game tomorrow. Let's do the preview now. So yeah, as I just said, we're playing Tottenham tomorrow at the King Power Stadium. Third game of the season, 2 wins from 2. Can we make it 3 from 3? No Leicester team ever has in the top flight. Can we be the first? I hope so. I think so. I hope so. I'm the first because, you know, momentum massive. If we win 3 out of 3, it's an unbelievable start. Our best start ever in the top flight. So, you know, you can't take that away. And hopeful because I think we can do it. I think Tottenham aren't the best side for us to be welcoming to King Power, if that makes sense. Not the best side, like footballing wise. I think in terms of actual time of the season, I think they are one of the best sides we can face. Just blew a 2-goal lead at home to Stoke, lost the first game against United. I know some people have been saying, oh yeah, but they're going to want to win this one. I mean, teams like that want to win every game. It's not a factor of what games they want to win, what games they want to win. And Tottenham haven't strengthened their team massively from last season. And when we were in the worst point of our last season, we almost got something out of that game if it wasn't for a late Eriksen free kick. I mean, that was one of the best we played last season. So I don't think it's going to be a walkover for Tottenham or a Tottenham win even. I think it'll be a draw or a Leicester win. I really do believe that. That's not just coming off the back of the 2 games. Looking on the paper, I just feel like now, I imagine Inler will play. I'll do my team in a bit, but I just feel like we have a really strong unit there, which is a real good sign. But let's not take it away from Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham are really a team that will have Champions League aspirations. I mean, they'll want to finish top 4. They will. So for them, this is a massive game. They'll be thinking, yes, Leicester might have won the first 2, but they are still relegation candidates in our eyes. So we should be picking up 3 points away here. But I can't think they can look at it like that. They know that Leicester's a tough game, and I think they will be worried, especially after us beating West Ham away. I think a lot of the league now will be worried at what Leicester could potentially do. And Matt Inler signing midweek has really boosted that fact. Let's do the team then quickly. So here is my team. Don't worry about the numbers, I just had to type them in. But the team I think he'll go for the exact same team apart from the 2 midfielders. I think Kante and Inler will both start. At least one of them will definitely start. I think Inler will definitely start. Kante one I'm not so sure about, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ranieri does bring him in. And I think this will cause a bit of controversy, obviously, because people have said, don't change a winning side, the Tinkerman will be back. But, you know, if we win with changing it with these 2, then I don't think any of us can complain. And Kante was good when he came on against West Ham. He did contribute in that, so it's not like he's done anything. Inler, obviously, it's just about fitness and assessing that, but if he's fit, he'll play. I mean, Inler is a quality player, and if he's fit, which he should be, because he's still been in pre-season, then he'll play. No other surprise in the team, like I said. I think it'll be the same team again. Vardy, Okazaki up front, Albright and Schlupp on the wings, back 4 of Delat, Hoof, Morgan and Jeff on the left back position, and then Schmeichel in goal. Obviously that's if there's no illnesses or etc, etc, but that'll be the team I'm pretty sure for starting the game. On the Tottenham side of the game, looking at their previous lineups, they've been deploying Eric Dyer as a defensive midfielder. Now Dyer to me is someone that is a defender. I mean, he played right back. He's kind of a massive utility man for Tottenham, but I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. And if he does play there, I feel like that's an area Mahrez especially can really exploit in behind that defensive midfield role, like he did against Catamol for Sunderland. And I really think Mahrez can do something against Dyer. If I was Ranieri, I'd be saying to him, look, Riyad, get on Eric this whole game and don't man-on-man him, but make him the man that has to get the ball off you and kind of ebb towards him, I guess, in the game, and make him the one who's going to have to tackle you. Tottenham, tactically, then, how do they line up? They line up, like I said, 4 at the back, 2 in the midfield, 2 out wide, and then 1 just behind Kane, which will probably be Eriksen just behind Kane. Chadley on the wings, we know, is a danger. Chadley obviously scores a lot of goals, most from tap-ins, and Kane and Eriksen obviously are the 2 real danger men. Eriksen is a class above, really, what Tottenham have in that team. He's a very, very, very poised player on the ball, like Gylfi Sigurdsson at Swansea. Eriksen's a real top-class talent. And then, going on to Kane, obviously Kane hasn't scored yet this season, and a lot of Tottenham fans aren't worried about that. I mean, you'll see in a minute that when I talk to a Tottenham channel, they aren't worried about that. They still think Kane will be as good as he was last season in the sense that he'll still score goals for him. But I do worry for him that he's leading the line on his own, and I don't think that'll be enough for him, because Kane on his own against how our defence is playing this season with Hoof and Morgan, I don't think that he'll be able to get in as easily behind. I know he scored a hat-trick at White Hart Lane against the same 2 defenders last year, but we're a completely different setup now, and especially if Kante or Inler play in there, they're 2 kind of can play defensively minded, especially Kante, and if he can break up the play and disrupt it, then that could be massive. Tactically, again, if I was Ranieri, I would put Kante in the game just purely to mark Eriksen. I'd say to him, look, mark Eriksen, stay on him and make him not be able to distribute the ball. Don't make him a playmaker. Don't let the ball come through him as much as it has been or it can be when Tottenham are playing well. But as it was last season, I remember someone turning around to me saying this is one of the poorest Tottenham sides I've ever seen, and they haven't really strengthened on that. Pochettino, I'm not a massive fan of. Some Tottenham fans are. They feel like he's improved the squad, but I don't feel like he has really improved the squad massively. Obviously, flops now like Soldado, Paulinho have left, but I still feel like Tottenham need massive improvement in the transfer window. And obviously that can't happen now before playing us, which is good for us. And that's why I think it's a really good time for us to be playing them. I do expect Leicester to get something from the game. I'm going to go for a score draw, though. That's my pessimist and my optimist coming in. I'll take a score draw at home. Obviously, the way we're playing, we want the 3 points. We all want the 3 points. But at the end of the season, realistically, a home draw against Tottenham wouldn't be a bad result. So I'm going to go for 1-0 or 2-0 for the game. Hopefully, it's a really, really great game. I mean, Tottenham fans will be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to it. And quickly now then, I spoke to a Tottenham fans channel earlier. Here they are. Their link will be in the description down below. For Tottenham Way, I spoke to them. Here's what they had to say to me. Hello everyone, welcome back to Next Goal Wins with First Row CFC. Today we are joined by the Tottenham Way, the Tottenham Fans Forum. We're going to ask them a few questions about the upcoming game. First question I've got to ask you is, quickly, you've seen the first 2 Leicester games hopefully this season. What do you think about our start?
Well, it's really impressive. I think everyone wrote off Ranieri, but he hasn't seemed to have changed very much from last season, which he obviously finished really well. So credit to him, and I'm a bit worried about the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you feeling about obviously coming to King Power? We've got massive behind us just after you blowing the 2-goal lead at Stoke. Are you confident? Are you nervous? What are your feelings?
I'm quite nervous. I think for Spurs, there's actually already a bit of pressure on because we did all right against Manchester United at Old Trafford, but it was a real typical Spurs collapse against Stoke. It was. I went to the game and it wasn't surprising at all. So I think because we've got such a young squad, so many young players, because the squad isn't finished yet. We still need a couple more at least. I think there's already a bit of pressure on Spurs not to lose the Leicester. And if we do lose, we've then got Everton are up next, and they look in great form. They've got good attacking players in form. So I think there's real pressure on Spurs already. It sounds stupid, but already it's not a game we can lose, really.
No, I was going to say the same. I mean, from watching you this season, when I'm not a Leicester fan, I did a West Ham one last time, and they asked me West Ham or Tottenham, and I picked Tottenham, and I've always had kind of affiliation for Tottenham. And for me, I don't feel like you fought that well this summer. I mean, Pochettino, I feel like needed to improve the squad. I know you brought in NJ from Lyon, but do you think you still need a few players this window, or what are your feelings towards that?
We definitely need at least 2. We need a centre forward who can give Kane a bit of competition, and we need a defensive midfielder. Because at the moment Spurs are playing Eric Dyer, who's a centre half in defensive midfield. He's done well. He did really well against United and Stoke, but I don't think he's the answer there. I think the club have seen something in him and decided that he can do a job there. But Spurs really, really need those 2 players. There's 2 kind of gaping holes in the squad right now, and there's no. I mean, Berahino, I think is a target, but that's probably going to be a deadline day job if it happens. And there's no gossip linking us to a defensive midfielder, so we really need to keep players in before that squad's finished.
Yeah, I think with Kane, obviously Kane last season had an amazing season. No one can take that away from him, but I think it is a massive gamble from Pochettino if this is the case that he's just leaving it to Kane to lead the line. I mean, one good season doesn't make you a proven Premier League striker, and I think you really need someone there. I remember last season when he came to King Power, I was at the game, and it was one of the poorest games actually we saw from an away side coming to King Power, and you managed to get the victory thanks to that Ericsson free kick, as you always did last season. You haven't really improved on that squad, and that's my point just on this next question. Do you feel like Pochettino has improved your squad from where it was left by Sherwood? Obviously, he came in for a bit, but do you feel like Pochettino has improved the squad since he's come in?
Yeah, he definitely has, because, well, I think first of all, the priority, I think, this summer was we had so many overpaid, underperforming players who weren't part of Pochettino's thinking and who needed to be got rid of. So I think the priority this summer was always getting rid of Paulinho, Chiliches, Capu, Kabul, all these guys who just had no future at Tottenham, and they're hard to shift. We're still trying to shift Adebayor and Lennon and Fazio. I think he's about to go to West Brom.
Yeah, West Brom.
The priority is to get rid of these guys and keep Kane, Eriksen, Maurice, and Vertonghen. We'll keep sort of 4 or 5 and Bentaleb. So that's the first thing to say about our business. The second thing I'll say is that I don't think it's Pochettino who's deliberately leaving it late. It's Levy who never learns lessons.
Yeah.
Pochettino said at the beginning of the summer we want to be decisive in the transfer market and sort of catch our rivals off guard, and that just hasn't happened. That's what he wanted to do, I think. But I think he's improved the squad. He's made people like Kane, Bentaleb, Mason, Dyer into much better players, and without having to. He's not had a lot of money to spend, and he won't be given a lot of money to spend. But with the young players, he's improved them, so the squad's got better.
So with the game then tomorrow, obviously, as a Leicester fan, I feel confident about the game. I can't not, but we never do well against London teams. I mean, it was amazing we actually won in London last week, but we never historically do well against Tottenham. I mean, one of my earliest memories is crying after we lost in the League Cup final to you. But anyway, not about. We'll move on quickly from that one. But just with the weekend, one player, if you had to, who you think will be your best performer, who us Leicester fans might have heard of, obviously your Eriksons, your Kanes, etc. And then one player you feel like we may not have heard of, some of us Leicester fans who you feel like could do a job. I mean, obviously a lot of them played last season against us, so that might be difficult. But if you can give one player you feel like will have a really good game or stand out.
Well, okay, the one player you probably heard of. I think I don't buy the stuff about. I know you just said it, but I don't buy the stuff about Kane not being the real deal. I think he's going to have another. He won't be as good as last year.
No.
But he looked sharp against Stoke, even though they defended.
Yeah, so he's still threatened, doesn't he, with the first 2 games? So.
His main qualities are basically he's an intelligent guy. He strikes the ball really cleanly, and he's not going to lose. So watch out for Kane, but you know about him. I think one person Spurs fans are really, really impressed with.
Yeah.
He was brilliant last season. He didn't get a lot of attention with Danny Rose. He's been injured in the first 2 games, but I think he's fit. So keep an eye on him. It'll be his first game of the season. He might be a bit rusty, but he was just brilliant last year. He never let us.
Yeah, I've actually always rated Rose as well as one of those players that I left. I remember a goal he scored a few years ago now against Arsenal, but he's always been kind of an in and out player in the team, hasn't he? And I've always thought he was quite a decent player. I'm going to ask you now then the big question for this week.
Yeah.
Prediction. What's your prediction? You can give one from your head and one from your heart. That's what we'll call this segment of the show. One from your head, one from your heart.
I'll go. I think my heart says 1-0 Spurs. My head says score draw.
Draw.
Yeah, I think I'll go 1-1.
Yeah, I'll go. My heart says 2-0 City. My head says the same as you. Score draw. 1-0, 2-0. I think it'll be quite an attacking game. I mean, both of us like to play kind of attacking football, but I can see it being a Stoke again, a 2-0 type of job.
Yeah,
for us, from a Leicester fan, we want to hear what's the one player from our team that you're really worried about, and one player you're really excited about seeing.
I quite like Mahrez.
Yeah,
I'm worried about him. I think he's really fuzzy, technically good. The kind of player Spurs would love to have. Really,
you're not having him. You're not having him.
Who else? I always put Mark Albrighton in my fantasy team because I thought. Where did you sign him from again? Villa.
From Villa on a free, and last season he really didn't play under Pearson, and then January he played against Villa and was brilliant, and then Pearson left him out again at the end of last season. He played him at 3-5-2 and he was brilliant, and he's carried it on this season.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at Villa and telling everyone he was going to be an England player. I haven't kept a close eye on him, but I'm glad that he did so well on the first day after that he had. And I fear Mahrez, and I quite like Albrighton.
Yeah, good. Right, let's do a little quick fire questions. First thoughts, no deliberating. Right, so you ready?
Go on then, yeah. Okay,
so Villas Boas or Sherwood?
Yes, sir.
Kane or Soldado times 10?
Kane.
To Dare to Do or the Emirates?
To Dare to Do.
I'm trying to catch you out of these quick ones. Leicester or Forest?
Leicester.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coventry or Derby?
Coventry.
Pearson or Ranieri?
Ranieri.
League Cup or FA Cup?
FA Cup.
And finally, a Cup or Champions League qualification?
Cup.
Cup, right. Thank you very much for joining me today, Dan. Your link will be down below. Everyone check him out, the Tottenham Way. There might not be too many Tottenham fans watching this, but hopefully we will. All of you check him out. It's really, really good Twitter, all social media and written articles. So go check him out. Thanks again very much for joining me, Dan. That's all for this little segment of the show. So yeah, as you've just seen, that's what they had to say to me at the Tottenham Way. Kind of a bit pessimistic about their chances, really. Not too confident, which I can't imagine they would be. But anyway, that's all for this little video on the Leicester preview. Please like the video. Please leave your comments below and subscribe to me for daily uploads about Leicester. And join me again for tomorrow when we're going to be doing another review of the game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be another positive one. And always, I'll see you in the next one.